the TH4 True Health Forever podcast, where we empower your physical, social, spiritual, and economic health. Consume this content every week with positive energy and good intentions. Join me, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and my starlit queen, Sinclair, the health nerd, and share this with those you love. You are strong, you are beautiful, and you are ready to live your best life. Chicka jam. Welcome back, y'all. I had to do a little remix for today's episode. The guest that we were going to have this week, we will still have next week. So if you were just really tapped in, you were like, ooh, Dr. Mayweather, I need to talk about it. Ooh, the race talk, I need it. Don't worry. Next week, May 1st, same place, same time, different link, same YouTube channel, same podcast. Go ahead and tap in with us. But welcome back. My name is Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. As usual, I have my melanated, beautiful, smiling, very important queen. Please introduce yourself.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the health nerd. And yes, I am important.
Yes, you are, queen. So we were having a great conversation. We just left Game School Con. Shout out to Erica, Ed, Sasha, Meg, the whole Game School Con clan. We appreciate y'all. But we were driving back home. We were having like a really good, in my opinion, really good conversation. Or I think we have a lot of conversations. I think Sinclair enjoys probably 38% of them.
It's more than that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go. What's the percentage?
A solid 78.
70?
I enjoy most of them.
Let's go. That's passing.
Most, not all.
But this was a pretty good conversation about kind of what love looks like, what feeling important looks like, what your network looks like. And, you know, since we kind of had a little hole in the show today, we were just like, you know what, let's spill over that conversation into the podcast and let's just, you know, see what comes up organically. So definitely, if y'all have questions, y'all have comments, make sure you drop them in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. As usual, if you are driving, please continue to drive. Do not leave a comment
until you get home or to your destination.
Home. Exactly. Queen, anything that you would like to say, any did you knows, facts, or segues you would like to provide before getting into, you notice I give you a broad range.
Yes.
So that you can pick.
I do have a did you know. I did come prepared this week. Let's
go.
All right. And you're going to have a very easy time tying this in. Okay. So did you know that strong relationships are linked to lower anxiety and depression, higher self-esteem, and a better immune system? Yes, we don't always think about, at least I don't always think about relationships as being directly tied to health. But it really is true that it's how you connect to the world. It's how you kind of frame your relevance and your existence in the world. So relationships, especially strong and healthy relationships, are very important. And I thought the immune system one was the most like, out of the box, not necessarily out of the box, but the one that was the most surprising to me. But it does make sense because if you really think about the body, it's really all like you're just we're chemical and electrical signals and machines, right? So there's a lot of whatever thoughts and feelings that you feel, your body feels and sends messages and hormones and electrical signals and pulses, all of this stuff, and your body is going to react to that. So if you have strong relationships, you have a reason to get healthy. Right? You got people you got to see, you got people to talk to, you got people to visit, you have people to stick around for, like your body knows that, and it's going to make sure that you get healthy, you know, as quickly as possible. So I thought that was really interesting. And, you know, just if you're listening to this is your sign. Go ahead and text your friend, call your friend, go visit your family member, whoever that is, that person that's been on your mind, go ahead and hit them up right now, because it can help you stay healthy.
Beautiful. And yeah, that is a great segue, because I think as you build wealth, it gets kind of difficult to, I think, meet new genuine friends, because you don't know who's your friend for you versus who your friend for what you represent, your status or your wealth. And I think we see a lot of celebrities that unfortunately go on to glory too soon or take their life because they're depressed, and possibly they don't have those strong relationships around them because they feel alone. So I think
lonely at the top.
yeah, it gets lonely at the top, right? The oxygen is thin at the top, but M4 show, we're trying to help at least 100 other families get to that top with us. We don't want to be at the top by ourselves. We got a beautiful team of people around us. We got friends, we got family around us, and we're hoping to all get to that mountaintop together, right? Reach down as you climb or lift as you climb so that everybody can get there. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Unconditional love versus being taken advantage of. Unconditional love versus maybe abusive relationships. Unconditional love versus that cap love. Let's get into it. Cap love. That's what it should have been called. Cap love. Dang it. Oh, well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, we're out.
Y'all.
Yeah,
Another word for you.
Cap. So first off, don't anybody try to take cap love away. Okay, I'm putting that on a hat. That's going to be on a beanie. Cap love was heard on the M4 show. All right, right here. Cap love. Stay tuned. It's coming. But a phrase that has for sure already been said and is already out there is your net work is your net worth. Right? Can you talk to me about your perspective of that? One, do you think that's true? And two, what kind of implications do you think that just phrase has? Your network is your net worth.
That's a loaded question.
It is.
So I think that there is truth to that. To where like another phrase that ties the same topic is like you are the sum of the closest 5 people around you or something like that. And I think there is some truth to that in terms of if you're the people that are in your inner circle. I feel like they're in your inner circle for a reason. You may share some of the same values, some of the same hobbies. I mean, who knows what actually, makes you close. But I feel like it can be those things and your desire to elevate that does bring you closer together. And I feel like, if you are close with those people, there is some truth to them being a part of your net worth. And I guess where I struggle saying that that's 100% true is like in the literal or not so literal definition of net worth. Like, do I think like you're money wise, you're actually, no, I don't think that that's true. But if you think about wealth, from in the aspect of more than just money, in terms of wealth of knowledge, wealth of happiness and opportunity, wealth of like freedom to do what you want with your life, wealth in terms of just like having an abundant mindset, then I think that that is true. Because even your friends that maybe are not doing, as well as they want to be financially, it doesn't mean that they're not providing anything, to your circle or anything like that. Like you can be learning something very valuable from every person in your circle. So maybe they just pour into your cup and, we talked about self-esteem being higher. Maybe they're that person that just makes you feel really good about yourself. That's definitely part of your net worth, right? So I feel like there is truth to that if you think about net worth as more than just dollar signs.
Yeah. And I agree. I think 100% personally, your network is going to directly influence your net worth. Now, where I think people make the mistake is I think we start to over calculate who we're going to allow in our network to get to a certain net worth. And if people aren't going to be able to add to it monetarily, we don't put that value on it. Right. And I feel like that's where we mess up a little bit, and we only see the value in the monetary and not the emotional, not the spiritual, not the different experiences. Someone speaking a different language, they like this game, or they're in this industry, whatever it is, they're them being able to add that net wealth to you rather than the net worth. And I feel like that's the rabbit hole that we're going to kind of discuss today is how do you stay in positive relationships? How do you stay giving to folks where there's no, I think, immediate return
Mm,
or obvious return,
mhm, mhm.
right? And that kind of leads us a little bit to the conversation around unconditional love. And
Right.
we got into a good conversation on the way here about what is unconditional love. And again, I don't want to say too much. So, Queen, from your perspective, what is the definition or what is the concept of unconditional love?
So for me, the concept of unconditional love is feeling is loving someone regardless of what they do or say, or how they act. Like, it's, you take away all of the as long as or
Mm,
ifs or buts. It's I love you, period.
yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, unconditional love is the period at the end of that sentence.
Mhm.
I love you. I
No,
will always love you.
no comma. You be trying to
There's
get
no
me to add more
comma.
commas when I write. You sure? No
No comma,
commas.
babe. You don't
All
need a
right.
comma there.
All right. Bet.
But yeah, there it's taking off any conditions to the reason or the love that you give to somebody.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if I need to expand more, but I
No,
feel
I
like
think you're
that's
good, and I think in most, I'll say in my family, right, how I was growing up, and if y'all rock with this, let me know. But I feel like within school, within sports, within families, we are put in a. I'm gonna mess this word up. Sinclair, correct me on the word. Meritocracy,
I don't know what word you're talking
right?
about.
Where you gain status by your merit or by things
Um,
that you do. I think it's meritocracy or something like that.
Still have never heard of that word before in my
No,
life,
so,
but I
somebody
understand what you're trying to say.
somebody asked Miriam if that's a
Miss
word.
Webster, let me ask you a
Somebody
question
asked
real
Miss
quick.
Webster. All right. But I feel like personally, I felt that I need to accomplish things to
Yeah.
gain love. I need to get A's. I need to start a podcast. I need to start a business. I need to graduate from college. And if I graduate from college, then my family will love me. If I start $1 million business, my family will, like, whatever it is, right? It's, you have to earn that
Mhm.
love from people, from your fans, your followers, your subscribers. And I think we're in a we're in a different type of bubble, I think.
Mhm.
I think with everybody who's has our YouTube channels, again, and we're in it, right? So no shade to anybody, but people who have their YouTube channels, their Instagram, we have all these followers and we post and we get the likes. I think we're in kind of like a emotional bubble of, we feel this value because we have the subscribers, because we have
It's
the likes.
validated.
It's validation 100%. Like when I post something and it gets thousands of views, I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm doing something.
They love
They
me.
they love me out here. But when I post something and it gets 5 views, I'm like, dang, okay, that wasn't a hitter.
Mhm.
Am I as smart as I think I am?
Mhm.
Am I posting the right stuff? Do they love me? Right. And so I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm trying not to fall into a rabbit hole, but I think it's going to be interesting when we are able to not attach love to having to earn it. It's just
Mhm.
is. It's just there. It is unconditional.
Yeah.
Right. Your thoughts on that?
I'm going to say my thought and say say it with the preface that I don't want this to also go be a rabbit hole, because it could be a whole podcast episode in itself.
Okay. I'm ready to snatch you back.
Okay, okay.
I'm ready.
Self-love.
Mm,
I feel like one another kind of space we're in, the whole self-love, I feel like it's almost a buzzword right now, is
mm-hmm,
learning to do that for yourself.
mm,
Because I feel like a lot of us do the same thing for ourselves.
100%.
I love myself as long as I'm getting up every day at 5:30 and working out and I'm
Why
doing
you why you why you saying my life right
I'm
now?
sorry.
Hold up. That was very specific.
I know, I'm not waking up at
That
5:30.
that's literally when I wake up. That's
My bad.
literally when I work out. Okay, this podcast, we going deep, y'all. Let's go.
No. But yeah, like as long as I am doing the things that I'm supposed to be, as long as I'm handling my business, I love
Mm,
myself.
mm,
Whereas like maybe during a time where you do something you're not supposed to, or you you eat the donut and now you feel guilty, do you still love
mm,
yourself just as much, or
mm,
are you now questioning that? So
mm,
yeah, that could be a whole other podcast, but that's what
gotcha.
that is what I was thinking of, is
Mm,
that unconditional love does need to apply to all of your relationships,
mm.
including the one with yourself.
Yeah, so it's a good pivot, right? And if y'all are rocking what we're saying, and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe. If you're driving, don't do anything, just head nod and you can talk back. But the question is, how do you show yourself unconditional love? Like what I don't know if there's things that you can do that just proves, I don't know, I love myself no matter what. For me, I know it's the affirmations that I give myself.
Mhm.
Um the meditation sessions have been great, and I feel better when I do take the time to meditate and literally talk to myself and envision myself. Um but I feel like sometimes the image of self-love comes off as either arrogant
Mhm.
or crazy.
Hmm. In those extreme contexts,
Mhm.
it can come off of that as that. But if I were to answer your question on how do you show yourself self-love, no,
Mhm.
unconditional love, how do you show yourself unconditional love?
Yes.
Um, it would be getting back up.
Mhm.
Like when you fall, you love yourself by getting back up and still going after that goal, whatever you were trying to do. Just because you maybe slipped up or today you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to do doesn't mean you deserve your goal any less.
Mhm.
So I feel like by you continuing, right, and with that same fervor, is that the word?
Sure.
That same like that
We
same
making up all types of
drive,
words today.
continuing with that same drive, I think is one of the ways that you can show yourself that you love yourself,
Mhm.
because regardless of everything you've gone through in your past, you still know that that's yours. Yeah, whatever future you have, whatever goal you have, it's still
Mhm.
yours to claim as long as you keep going. That's
Mhm.
I feel like you make the only prerequisite is to keep going.
Mhm.
And the fact that I am who I am. It's not because I did this or I did that or whatever. It's just that I know that I have this goal and I'm still working towards it.
Yeah. So I wanna root us back for a second, right?
Okay.
Because we are the M4 show, melanated married millionaires in the making, melanated
Hey.
married millionaires in the making, melanated married millionaires in the making. And I think we can attach love, importance, and value to money,
Mhm.
right? I think it's very easy to do that, and I don't want the podcast to come off or us to come off as you need to make $1 million to be important or to love yourself or to have value. That is not true, right? That
Mhm.
is not why we want to be millionaires. But we were watching The Last Holiday
Mhm.
this morning because we were in a hotel room and we had people next to us that were partying at 4 a.m. and we couldn't go back to sleep. So and then we were just like, you know what? Let's go on. Let's
I love
turn
how
on
you're
the TV.
saying we.
Huh? Oh yeah, no, it was I was asleep, to be
I
honest with
was
you.
like, this
I
man
was
was snoring.
I was knocked out. I was asleep, and then all I hear is, ugh, they just won't be quiet over there. I was like, what? What are you talking about? That you hear all that noise? No,
Because
I
my head was
don't.
my anyways, long story short, it was adjoining rooms. People got in at 4 o'clock in the morning, literally, and the way the room was set up, the head of the bed
Oh
was
my
like 2 feet
gosh.
away from the adjoining door. So yes, they're just talking, and I'm just like, oh really, Sally? That's what she said? Because I'm like, I can hear you. It's like you're standing right next to me. Anyways.
Oh, she calls. Excuse me, I hate to do this, but
I do,
can you
but it was
please?
like
I'm just
this
like,
because that was the second night in a row. I woke up at four
mhm,
o'clock the night before because whoever was leaving slammed their luggage against the
mhm,
door, and I was like jolted. I like woke up, so I'm like,
mhm.
we ain't doing this again."
Oh baby.
Ugh,
Oh,
I'm so
baby.
tired.
Long story short, we watched Last Holiday, and if you don't remember, this was with Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, Queen Latifah. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but she's like a working class person
Mhm.
who goes through a life event, and now she takes all her money out, and
All
she
of it.
all her money out of retirement, sells all her bonds, cat liquidates her IRA, and she then travels to like a resort, and people think that she's important because she has all this money. She's in the presidential suite.
Mhm.
She's spending $3,000-$4,000 a night to stay in a hotel. She's eating all this lavish food. The chef knows her, so like she looks perceived right outside looking in. She looks like, oh, she's a queen.
All right.
She's an heiress,
I think
entrepreneur,
yeah, I think they thought she
senator,
owned some other company or
right?
whatever.
And then once like the villain, right, or the antagonist in the movie found out that she was just a worker at basically like a Walmart, like she was just a regular salesperson, he tried to out her like
Mhm.
she wasn't important just because she wasn't actually wealthy,
Mhm.
right? Just because I'm not actually wealthy, I can't be important. So I want to center this a little bit in, how do you know you are important? right? Minus the wealth, because I think you can post on social media, you can have the wealth. Some people are capping, some people really have it, but minus wealth and monetary things, how do you give yourself value, and how do you know that you are important to you, right? So that's a question that I did ask you, Queen, on the beautiful drive.
Yep.
Do you have a answer you care to share on the air?
Share on the air.
I'm too nice with it. Yeah, I'm too nice.
Well, my answer to that question was, and your original question was, how many people do you need to feel important to in order for you to feel
So
important?
you want
Something
me to
like that.
really recap? Because how it really happened was you were saying how you feel you need to create impact, right? You need to feel important to other people. People need to show that you're important in order to kind of validate that importance. So I was like, okay, well, how many people need to do that? How many people do you need to impact? How many people do you need to help, to save, to feel important to them? What's that number? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 5? Is it a million? And then I think we were able to, like, okay, well, maybe that's not it. Maybe it's not
it was like, it's
people.
not a number, because I feel
Right.
like a number is going to be arbitrary. I could say 20,000, assuming that when I hit 20,000, I'm going to feel validated. I don't know. But I think my answer, after thinking about it more, still not sure if this is my final answer, probably not, was that I want to feel important to those people who I consider important. So it's really not about a number, but it's about, if I were to list all of the people who are important to me, I want to also be on their lists, right? I want that to be reciprocated. And that's, I think, where we took another
Yeah.
rabbit hole.
Right, but that's the rabbit hole that we ended in. Unconditional.
Yeah.
Right. So if, in my opinion, no shade to you again, Queen, but in my opinion, if you have a level of importance for somebody or a level of love for somebody, only if they have it back, that's not unconditional. Right. Let's rewind to a time where Will Smith was your favorite actor. I don't know
He's
if
still my
he's
favorite actor.
favorite actor, but at one point he was very important to you. Do you think you are important to Will Smith?
In a general sense, I am a fan. I think he values his fans.
No.
I mean, like, me personally, Juanita Sinclair. Ooh, I gotta say my whole Gover name on here. Do I think me personally? No, he doesn't know who I am.
Does that diminish the importance that he has for you, or that you have for him?
No,
So why does Will Smith get a different treatment than people that you know?
because I didn't know them. Like, I feel like I had the opportunity to have a relationship with the people that I know. I couldn't decide to be important to Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to.
I don't. Because to me, Kevin Hart, dope person, but Kevin Hart isn't more important to me than you are. And I know Kevin Hart doesn't know me yet, but there will be a day where Kevin Hart does know me, right? So that's why it's like, I feel you, but I don't put the celebrities or people that are important to me on a different pedestal than people that I know. So in your life, you're saying if someone doesn't show the importance, if someone's important to you, but you're not important to them, that's a disconnect. And now you're like, forget that person, kind of, right? In your real life, if they know you.
That's strong to say, like, forget that person, but it does start to make me question the strength of the friendship. Yes.
But do they still remain important to you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Good.
Okay. Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
You thought I just meant, like, oh, because you are no longer important to me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not that cutthroat. Goodness gracious. You're still important. But again, it just starts to make me question, I guess. And then my question back is, like, how long can you go in a relationship where you give that unconditional love and maybe don't quite feel it coming back? Like, how long do you just, that's just a lifetime unconditional relationship where you never really get your cup filled and you're just okay with that? That's just the cup that stays empty? Or, like, is there, at what point does it become like okay, maybe this isn't a suitable relationship for where I'm at right now?
Yeah, it's like at what point do you stop going to see Will Smith movies? Right? He's still important to you. He's
Mhm,
still gonna put out movies, so you're gonna keep going to the movies.
mhm.
So I feel like in this, we're going into now the final part of our conversation that we had before we pulled up into the driveway, kind
Yes.
of, and that was as you're building your wealth, right? You're building your business, you and your family, y'all are popping. You got the trucking company going, you got the clothing company, you got the health coaching, whatever it is, photography, and you're pouring into your friend's cup, whether you're trying to help them start their business, you're taking them on trips, however you pour into your friend's cup, but they're not pouring back. At what point do you stop pouring,
Mhm,
or do you just keep on pouring? And is that how you show unconditional love to your friends, to your family, even though they may not have the resources or whatever you're needing at your time in your life? They don't have those resources. Do you then stop giving them your resources? Was
mhm.
kind of the conversation we were leading into. So you want to give your thoughts, or you want me to give my thoughts first?
You can give your thoughts first.
So how I see it is, I have my tribe. I have my village. Y'all know who you are, right? These are a lot of the people that I mean, when I was broke, we were broke, we were sleeping on mattresses, we were having our EBT. Like, these were the people that were still rocking with us. So those are the people that some of them poured into my cup during college. Sometimes for during college, I was pouring into their cups, right? And I think for your friends, for your families, for your day ones, for your real village, there's going to be phases.
Mhm,
There's going to be phases. It could be a year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, where maybe you're pouring into their cup, but they're not pouring back,
mhm,
right? I don't want to name drop on here, but y'all know who you are, right? There's people in college that I felt like in college I was pouring into their cup.
mhm,
In college, if they needed food, I got you. You need a place to stay, I got you. You need clothes, I got you. You want to have fun, you need a ride, boom, I got you. Whatever you need, I was pouring into their cup. And there's a time where after college, I'm no longer pouring into their cup. We're still friends. And now they're pouring into my cup, right? Oh, I need you to make this. I need you to make that. And they're like, oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. Easy. And it's like, oh, what do you need from me? And they're like, nothing.
mhm.
I don't need anything from you, right? Stop asking me. Right? I was asking this person the other day, like, oh, you need me to come through? They're like, no, I'm fine. Don't check on me. Right?
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. You care too much. So it's like, I think there's just phases in life where if you unconditionally love somebody, there's going to be phases where you're giving and not receiving. And there's going to be phases where you're receiving and not giving. And I think that's truly unconditional love. One last thing that I'll say before I give it back to you, Queen. Parenting,
Mm,
I think, is the ultimate
yes.
sign of unconditional love. I think, if you are blessed, and I think I am blessed, Dad, appreciate you. Had a great phone call with my dad the other day because I was stressed about life and business. I was like, I got to call my dad. Let me go on a walk. Let me call my dad. He talked to me and I felt better afterwards, right? But that's that unconditional love that I think parents pour into you, for sure, 0 to 18. Because if
Mhm.
you're 0 to 18, you're really not giving too much back, other
Right.
than like the pride of like, oh, that's my son or that's
Mhm,
my daughter. But you're not giving them too much money, wisdom. Some of us are cooking for them and cleaning, but it's not that much, right? But there will be a time, unfortunately, towards the tail end of life, right? When your parent is 80, 90, 100, 150, if you blessed, right? Where now you're taking care of them.
mhm,
Right. So again, that's that phases of unconditional love. And I think if we see it in family, we should also see it in friendship.
mhm.
Open it to you.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's making me think a little bit differently about friendships.
Mm,
Um, of course, the other side of it that I also have in my head is the like on the personal development side whenever we talk about like getting to the goal and making sure you have all the time and energy you need to do that. A lot of one of the pieces of advice that folks give and even I've given to people is like watch your energy drainers.
mm,
Is like watch the people that you interact with that don't pour back into your cup.
mm,
So I think that's where it gets difficult, is when it is that moment where it's like, dang, I've been pouring and nothing's coming back, or I expected this, and we talked about like not having expectations, but really for me it's like I expected this and I didn't get that.
Mhm.
Um and not having that be like it's still energy putting in, doing that for a long time. So at what point do you say like, okay, maybe this energy is better spent on either someone else that will pour back, or on just my goal, whatever goal you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
um Stuff like that. Those are always those That's kind of the two sides that I have think in my head, kind of tugging on each other. Not that both can't be valid.
Right.
But yeah, it's like I feel like it's just you needing to evaluate, is this just a phase of this friendship that we can move past, or is this maybe has this relationship run its course?
Yeah. I think that's the importance of, and we're getting to time. Appreciate you. But I think that's the importance of having. It's important to have streams of income.
Mhm,
We know that, right? You want to have, your stocks. You want to have your entrepreneurship ventures. If you're still working your 9 to 5, you have your 9 to 5, your side hustles. It's also important to have streams of energy,
mhm,
right? So you have different people, different practices, and different habits that do fill your cup. So when one stream is maybe taking from your cup, you can rely on some other streams to still have that energy.
mhm.
Um, so let's continue this conversation. Drop your comments if you're watching on YouTube. One, how do you show unconditional love to yourself and to others? But and then that harder question that the queen was asking is, what's that fine line
Mhm.
between pouring into somebody's cup and having that unconditional love versus maybe having to let that person go because they are draining your energy or possibly even taking advantage.
And or right, so the specific situation we were talking about, I see it as a little bit different, where it was like I wasn't expecting anything from the other person except for acknowledgement of my feelings.
Mhm,
And I feel like I don't know that we can have a healthy friendship without that.
mhm,
So it's like I feel like you also may have your deal breakers
mhm.
that like, if we're gonna have a friendship, this is a minimum requirement.
Yeah,
And then I guess that makes it not unconditional.
yeah.
You're right. Thoughts.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Mhm.
Before we end, let's do some updates, Queen. Um, yeah, Queen, updates for the week. What's popping?
This week, nothing new in particular for this week, but we do have the accountability group, the free weight loss accountability group, still popping. So you can join that on my Instagram, which is at the with 3 E's health nerd, and the link in my bio is for the sign up form for the weight loss accountability group. And this is free, so you can join. If accountability is one of the hardest parts of weight loss. We generally know what we need to do. It's just the actually doing it. That's the hard part. And then keeping it going after life happens. So that's what this group is for. We gonna be bugging you. We bug
Mm,
each other every other day, pretty much. Like, how you doing? How's everybody doing? So definitely you need to be in this group if you are trying to lose some weight, lose some fat, or just feel better for. I mean, the summer is pretty much here already in
mhm.
California, but you still got some time. So definitely head to the Health Nerd on Instagram and come join the Queen to Queen accountability group. We'd love to have you.
Yes, yes. Quick thing. I do want to make sure we give at least one, tangible action, right? We gave you the questions. I would say for me, tangible action, write down your list of 5 people. I would say try to do outside of your family, but even if it's 5 just within your family, cool. Write down your 5 people and make sure within a month you are talking and pouring into those 5 people,
Mhm,
right? Somehow, some way. And ideally, if you can connect with them, and we talked about love languages, last week, if you can find out what's their love language or how can you make them feel important, that's the information that you need, right? So write down your list. 5 people. It could be a friend, it could be a cousin, could be your significant other, could be a coworker, but 5 people that you're just like, these are my 5 that I'm rocking with. These are my
mhm,
day one. These are the people I'm 10 toes down with, and we are going to rock. We are going to build. I want to see these 10 people at the top of my mountain and just keep that communication going every single month. Right? Not every day, maybe not every week, but just once a month, try to tap in with them. Okay. For my updates, One, we just got back from Game School Con, very fun event. This is our second year tapping in with them. We were on 3 panels on literacy, on game designing, and on what was the other one? Oh, STEAM, which is
History, engineering,
history, engineering,
art.
arts, and math. So yeah, it was really good to represent
And tech.
and tech. It was good to represent the Black game designers there, represent financial literacy there. Got a lot of love from the homeschooling community and the game schooling community. So thank y'all if y'all tapped in with us at Game School Con. We appreciate you.
Definitely.
Other things, the games, you can. So at Game School Con, we sold out of second editions, sold some masterpiece editions. And if you want your second edition game, they are available for pre-order. This is the last week they're available for pre-order for just $40. Next week, the price will go back to regular price because the games will be officially in stock and they'll be shipping out. So get your game today. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. PlayBlackWallStreet.com and go ahead and get your second edition game, or get your masterpiece edition game and really take your life, take your Black history and art to the next level. PlayBlackWallStreet.com. Make sure y'all go get that thing. What else? I think that's pretty much it for the most part. We got some exciting travels coming up. We'll be in Atlanta soon. May or may not be in North Carolina. May take a trip to Chi-Town. May go to Jupiter. We just out here trying to make things happen. Growing our network, but also making sure we keep y'all along for the ride, our friends and our families as well. So appreciate y'all as usual. Queen, anything before we get on out of here?
Got nothing.
Good. Cool. We still need to come up with the outro.
We do.
We still need to create a new intro outro video, right? So the M4 show, we're here. We are still transitioning from True Health Forever. The full transition technically isn't going to be done until June.
May, June-ish.
I think May, June-ish, right? So we're going to keep doing it piece by piece. But definitely make sure y'all tell a friend, tell a married couple, tell someone who's single who wants to be married and they're on their journey of building wealth to tap into the M4 show. Melanated Married Millionaires in the making. We appreciate y'all. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, stay true. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the True Health Forever podcast. We hope you learned something valuable that you can take and implement into your life. Now, we've all heard that sharing is caring, and this podcast is no exception. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, a stranger walking down the street, anybody who you think can level up from this message. As always, we appreciate your support, and we'll talk to you next week. Be well.